First of all, Quran, is this negative, positive, or no? This first one. Not positive, Dana. What is it? Negative. See how it's going down? We know it's negative. Is it strong or weak? Strong. Strong. So which one of these would be closest to this? Negative one. So it's not, remember, it's not perfect. They're saying which one would be closest. Cool. Jasmine, what about this one? Positive, negative, or no? It is negative. And it's pretty weak. So which one would it be? Negative 0.5. Good. What about this last one? It's all over the place, right? It's no correlation, so it would be closest to 0. Cool. So circle how you feel. Make sure you have this because part of your quiz is just making sure you have the correct answers. And then you're going to go to the same packet we started with today. Today we're doing line of best fit, or for this one. So line of best fit is a linear equation. That represents our data. A scatter plot is a graph with data points. So scatter plot, like your scatter brains, right? You're kind of all over the place, right? Scatter plot is just a graph with points on it. We look at scatter plots and figure out if there's a correlation. And when we drew that line, that's the line of best fit. So I'm showing you for I usually make students do it by hand, but because we are in literally the biggest time crunch, because tomorrow you have your test, Monday and Tuesday you're going to be testing if you're taking lit in the morning. So you only have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Monday to review everything we've learned this year because Tuesday is your milestone. So because of that, we are just learning how to do it in the calculator, which, again, make sure you have this calculator, or else you're not going to be able to use it on the test. So why do we need one? We need one to represent and identify correlations and trends in our data. So you guys are going to be using your calculators a lot. I'm going to be walking you through it, and then Kamari, you're doing the same thing. It's just a little bit different buttons, so we'll walk you through that too. So the first thing you're going to do is you're looking at the data. We're going to be practicing with the data that's on our first problem right here. So see this problem? That's the data we're going to be starting with. So the first thing you're going to do is we're just going to write in these notes. So you only can do this if you have this calculator or the graphic one. So the first thing we do is we click on data. So it's almost the same thing. You click on stat. So it's almost the same thing as like getting the mean, median, mode. So you want to make sure you practice this because you're only going to be able to do this on here. And if there's anything in it, clear it out. And so you know if you click delete on the numbers, it will delete all the numbers in there. So make sure you guys have a calculator again. So I'm not going to walk you through it again. The next thing you do is you type your x coordinates into the L1, but now you're going to put your y coordinates into L2. So you're going to type your x coordinates into L1, your y coordinates into L2. So let's use these points as kind of our example. So this is from example 1. It says 2007, 2008, 2009, and 2010. It also has 120, so it's talking about cigarettes purchased in the U.S. 105, 92, and 86. This is from example 1. So this is, I'm just reading it from example 1. So you're typing, the first one's always going to be your X's, so that will be, you're typing into L1 in your calculator. These you're typing into L2. So make sure they're together. So the X coordinates should be with your Y coordinates.
Top, and underneath it, 2 variable stacks.
Everyone have that down. So you should be practicing with your calculator. If you have your own, make sure you're practicing with your own calculator too. Is everyone with me? Mm-hmm. Then what you're doing is you're pressing second, data, and select the second option for 2 variable stacks. So before, when we were doing mean, median, mode, that was only 1 variable. Now we're doing 2, so you're going to the where it says 2 bar stack. And then clicking enter 4 times. So once you have your information in your calculator, so type that in. We'll do this one for practice. You click second, data, you go to 2 bar stacks and click enter 4 times. It's the same thing. The only difference between this and the mean, median, mode one is that the 2 bar stack. There's 2 variables. Is everyone there? Cool. What do you get? So now you're scrolling all the way down until, oh, I thought you're fine. So now you're, just use that one for now on. When you scroll all the way down, what does it say? There's a lowercase a that looks like this. That is your slope. The B, that's lowercase because there's an uppercase one. The lowercase a and b, you have to scroll pretty far down. If the A is your slope, the B is your y-intercept. When you scroll one more down, it has your R. What did we learn last period? What does R equal? What did we learn last period? It has 2 R's in the name. Correlation coefficient. So now, Kamari, you need to remember to do that diagnostic on, because if you don't, your R will not show up for just your calculator.
Just when you first
When they hand you your calculator, the first thing you do is press second, the thing we showed you, turn diagnostic on. So does everyone understand what you're doing? Everyone has this written down. Okay, so this is the first example right here. This is what you just already typed in. What did you guys get for A? You did. So negative 11.5. So when we looked at A in our calculator, that's what it ends up being. What did you get for B? Beautiful. And what about for R? Did anyone not get that? Because I am only walking you through one, so I want to make sure you know how to get it. So the line of best fit, we just went over that down here. We know it's y equals, instead of m, they use the letter a in your calculator. So I know it's y equals, and what's your a or your slope? Good, negative 11.5x plus the b. B is still the same, your y-intercept. So that's your equation. For any linear, if they ever give you a table and you have this calculator, you can type any points in and it will give you the linear equation.
Is correlation coefficient is it R2?
Yep, no, just R. You'll learn about R squared and see what you're on. Negative 0.98. So R, where it says R right below A and B, is your correlation coefficient. That's what we learned last class. So what type of correlation does this have? Is it strong or weak? It's strong, right? We don't look at the sign for strong and weak. This is over 50 cents. So it's strong, but then the sign tells us if it's negative or positive. Is it negative or positive? Negative. So don't get negative and weak confused. When we look at strong and weak, we don't look at the sign, we just look at the number. When we look at negative and positive, we look at that. That means the more years, the less cigarettes purchased. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? All right, so you're gonna try